There is a quiet pattern in life that becomes impossible to ignore. Every single thing you build requires constant, exhausting energy to keep alive. You build physical strength, but the moment you stop training, it fades. You accumulate wealth, but stop managing it, and it shrinks. Even relationships cool off the second you stop nurturing them. From childhood, we are trained in this exact project of becoming. Become educated, become successful, become better. We are always pointing forward, constantly upgrading our identities, which creates a deep psychological fatigue. Eventually, even the pursuit of inner peace gets hijacked by this exact same operating system. We tell ourselves, I will attain permanent freedom, and suddenly, spiritual growth is just another stressful project to manage. Because every achievement demands continuous defense, the ultimate result of this endless project of becoming is always the same: inevitable, profound exhaustion. But then, a deeper question appears. Is there something that does not require effort? Something that does not decay and doesn't need to be protected? To be clear, asking this is not an excuse for laziness. It is not escapism or a way to dodge your actual responsibilities in the world. Rather, it is the start of a serious inquiry. We are looking for the singular element of human experience that requires absolutely zero maintenance. Centuries ago, a specific group of anomalous stimpers looked at this exhaustion and did something unusual. They abandoned the project of self-improvement entirely. The 20th century philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti warned that truth cannot be achieved through striving, because effort comes from a mind seeking its own continuity. Similarly, the Indian sage Ramana Maharshi discarded complicated spiritual systems in favor of a singular, stripping question: who am I? These figures were not offering a new skill to acquire. They were pointing directly to a state of reality that is already free. Their common thread was a radical shift in direction. Instead of acquiring more, they focused entirely on what remains when the grasping finally ends. Let's test this practically. Take a moment to categorize your internal experience, every thought, emotion, and identity you hold. Notice their shared characteristic. Regardless of their intensity, they all arrive and eventually they leave. Even your core identity shifts. The person you were 5 years ago simply doesn't exist anymore. This reveals a strict rule. Anything you achieve exists inside your experience and is inherently temporary. If everything within our perception is passing through, then true stability cannot possibly be found in anything we try to acquire, hold, or maintain. Pause for a second. Right now, as you watch this, are you actually doing anything to be aware of my voice? Awareness is the base layer of reality. It is entirely intact and fully present long before you exert a single ounce of effort. Experiences, achievements, and shifting identities are like clouds. They gather, they storm, and they pass, but they do not stain the sky they move through. Here is where the mind sets a clever trap. It hears this and says, "Great, I will now achieve the state of effortless awareness," and the stressful project begins all over again. But you cannot achieve what is already there. It can only be recognized. And that recognition feels less like accumulation and more like relaxing a grip you didn't know you were holding. Now, the immediate fear is that embracing this means giving up, that it leads to a life with no ambition, no work, and no responsibility. But freedom in this context doesn't mean stopping your life. It means the absence of psychological dependence on whatever comes and goes. You still build things, you still learn, and you still care deeply about the people around you. You just stop trying to secure your very existence through the outcomes of those actions. That is a quieter, deeper freedom. It allows you to engage fully with the world without being desperately tethered to the exhausting cycle of success and failure. This brings us to the ultimate paradox of the subtractive inquiry. What you are looking for requires absolutely nothing from you, and because it requires nothing, it cannot be lost. We have to discard the old, exhausting question, what must I do to become free? Instead, the question becomes, what is already here, before doing? Do not turn this into just another method to practice. Just stay quiet, notice, and see what remains. The end of the search isn't a final achievement. It is simply a quiet turning toward the constant that never actually left.